Welcome, everyone, to our pre-recorded spiritual gathering for Sunday, December the 26th, 2021. Along with Nancy, my teammate, the Barefoot Quartet of Janet, Grace, Dawn, and Pam, and our vocalist, Deb and Pam, and thanks to Noah, our technician, we welcome you. We hope that you've had a wonderful Christmas. As we join you from Treaty 6 territory, we take a moment to recognize the importance of the indigenous nations and people who call this and have called this place home. And we take a moment to recognize and give thanks for all the land wherever we happen to be at this moment, for the peoples and for our commitment to move forward in reconciliation. We light our candles as a way to connect as community, to remind ourselves that we are one people, we are one community, whether we are here in Edmonton, across the prairies in Saskatoon, or at one coast or another, or somewhere in between or around the world. We are connected with each other and we are one. And so we light our candles as a way to remind ourselves of that connection. And of course, to offer ourselves a focus in this season of light, a focus of light that reminds us of this season of Christmas and what is before us in the coming year. A light is always gleaming in our hearts and on our wicks. And so we sing of that light and all that it means to us.
Living in the light. These are the words of Diane Ackerman in her poem, School Prayer. In the name of the daybreak, and the eyelids of morning, and the wayfaring moon, and the night when it departs, I swear I will not dishonor my soul with hatred, but offer myself humbly as a guardian of nature, as a healer of misery, as a messenger of wonder, and as an architect of peace. In the name of the sun and its mirrors, and the day that embraces it, and the cloud veil drawn over it, and the uttermost night, and the male and the female, and the plants bursting with seed, and the crowning seasons of the firefly and the apple, I will honor all life, wherever and in whatever form it may dwell, on earth my home, and in the mansion of the stars. In these words of this contemporary poet, may we find wisdom for our living.
Christmas has a long history. Not as long as you'd think, mind you. The Christians latched on to Christmas rather late. Easter was always the festival of focus right from the very beginning. But later, in the 4th century, I know, weird to call the 4th century later, but in the 4th century, Constantine was the Roman emperor. He converted to Christianity and then made it his mission to make that the official religion of the whole empire. The beginning of the end, some might say. Anyway, he saw the extremely popular pagan rituals around this time of year, and he thought, hey, let's co-opt those festivals and make them our own, a ready customer base. And so Christmas was born. Christmas theologically was about the out there, up there God coming down to earth and being born as a human, to live and die as one of us. That might be an antiquated idea, but the idea that God was embodied in a person had great impact on the many centuries to follow. I can easily say that I, maybe like some of you, reject the beliefs of an out there, up there God choosing to experience humanity by coming to earth in the baby Jesus. However, I share this bit of religious history because there is wisdom to be gained through the evolution of those ideas over the millennia. I may not subscribe to Jesus being God incarnate, but I might find it very helpful to think that there's a wisdom, a spirituality in that 1st century teacher that was revolutionary and significant. And I might find it quite meaningful to understand that this deep connection with people, with the earth, with spirit, is not unique in that one person, but is present within each of us. Each baby, each person, each member of the human race, embodied with a sense of connection, wisdom, and beauty that we might choose to access. We can all list the negatives of how the church over the centuries made dogma and creeds out of these ideas in order to wield power over people, in order to indoctrinate generations, in order to twist some of the most pure and lovely values that these stories offer. but it's also on us to see some of the greatness that came out of these ideas. As a result of the belief that Jesus embodied this divinity, some amazing things have happened in our world. Just a few examples. Out of a desire to imitate Jesus' compassion for those suffering from physical illness, our ancestors poured the work of their hearts into a new institution called the hospital, caring for the impoverished, sick, and so birthed not only modern medicine, but also the very notion of a non-profit sector. Out of fidelity to Jesus' teaching to love with our whole minds, our ancestors poured their intellect into a new institution called the university, and so laid the foundation for the scientific revolution. And out of aching devotion to the beauty of creation, our ancestors poured their imaginations and craft and labor into the soaring beauty of architecture, of cathedrals, sculpture, paint, music, and so nurtured and fostered artists in every medium. Healthcare, education, culture. What does this say to us? It says that throughout the long history of our spiritual ancestors, we have learned that our bodies matter, our minds matter, our relationships matter, our work matters. Christmas is still about incarnation. It's about beauty, compassion, kindness, courage, hard work, sacredness, being present in each and every one of us. We are the message of Christmas. Ever becoming more fully human and in touch with the sacredness of the humanity within us all. As C.S. Lewis wrote, "There are no ordinary people. You have never talked to a mere mortal. Your neighbor is the most sacred object presented to your senses." A lovely way to live Christmas. So I conclude with a prayer today, a prayer that Nancy's already read, a prayer today in the words of Diane Ackerman, at least a portion of it. And our prayer today is this: I swear I will not dishonor my soul with hatred, but offer myself humbly as a guardian of nature, as a healer of misery, as a messenger of wonder, as an architect of peace. I will honor all life, wherever and in whatever form it may dwell, on earth my home, and in the mansions of the stars. In this season where we embody all that we wish the world could be, may it be so in so many ways.
as the flame becomes smoke, we go to become love in the world. We go to be the face of compassion, the hands of kindness, the heart of integrity, and the feet of peace. In this Christmas spirit, may we honor the light in one another, protect the light in one another, and tend the flame of gentleness in all that we incarnate. May you be safe. May you be well. And we'll see you next Sunday in the new light of 2022.